Okay, y'all, place your bets.
Whoa! Yo! Hey, get your people, bro.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of City Boys Genre. Today we'll be diving into the women that put men in danger. Now, we all know those women who are always popping off at the mouth, always got some kind of attitude problem, and always putting other guys in to fight her battles for her, right? Today we're going to dive into a deep discussion about that, man. Go ahead and subscribe. Without further ado, let's go.
If you love that man, don't put him in a situation where he's going to endanger himself or you. Reading a post from a girl who was going off on a guy in the club and she wanted her man to step in and start, going off too. Her man stepped in and de-escalated, but she felt like he wasn't manly enough in that situation. Let me tell you something. A real man going to do, a real man's going to actually make sure he's there to protect his family for the future. That might not look like getting in somebody's face and rah. That might look like de-escalating something. Not necessarily saying he a coward, but he's understanding the bigger picture. Because the bigger picture is if he crash out, he's not going to be there for his family no more. He's not going to be there to support you no more. He's not going to be there to lead y'all no more. So this expecting a man to crash out over something that's really goofy and really small and very minute, that's very childish on a woman's part. Very low vibration. His mental health, what they going through, their mindsets, all that matter too. Never putting my husband in a compromising position to the point where he might not be there for us in the future. He gonna protect us for sure. He gonna lead us forever. But baby, it ain't gonna be because of my attitude that something bad happened. Please stay focused and think about that bigger picture.
W woman. A lot of women are very, very impulsive, man. And they're controlled by their feelings, straight up. And a lot of them are ego driven. So when they get their feelings hurt and shit like that, because they know they can't physically beat a man, they'll have somebody else fight the battle for them. And a lot of the time it will be over something that's really small. It'll be over some stupid shit. You want this man to crash out and throw his family away, possibly get locked up and possibly get killed because you got your feelings hurt? Knock it off. That's another thing that men need to learn as well. Or at least need to take it into consideration. A lot of the time, this girl that you're going and crashing out behind already has a problem, man. She already has a problem. She's already known for getting into it with guys and girls and probably everybody. But you're going to back her up every single time she gets into it with somebody. Even if the first couple of times you take W's and you whoop the guy's ass and you whoop whoever's ass, you're eventually going to take an L. Especially in the world that we're living in now. A lot of people ain't fighting no more. They shooting. So you got to ask yourself, is it really worth dying over this person because she got a mouth on her? Because she provokes motherfuckers? Because she brings out the worst of people? Is that what's good for my health to be doing that? Let's continue, guys.
If you have a boyfriend or a brother, stop putting them in a position where they end up in the ground or behind bars. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, you want to protect your significant other or your sister, but sometimes your sister or significant other can be so dramatic and have you in a position where it wasn't even that deep, or they caused the conflict. And so now you somewhere. Do I defend my sister or think with a sound mind like, okay, let me kind of analyze the situation. I know how my sister is. I know how she can get the popping off at the gums. So let me kind of chill. Don't sit here and just go out blindly, especially if they'll turn around and go back to the dude, right? Or if it's your significant other, you sitting here, they 5 deep and somebody try your girl. Okay, let's be real. 1 against 5 dudes. Sometimes you just gotta walk away, and a lot of women will sit here and try you. Well, you a man, right? You're supposed to be protecting me, but then they don't protect you. To me, that's kind of op shit if somebody would put you in a position where they don't even care about your safety, but theirs. Because as a man, you're not gonna sit here and call your sister over every little thing that a woman did to you. Sometimes you gotta sit back and be like, okay, should I be with this woman? Is she always put me in a position where I gotta show my manhood and prove to her that I'm protecting her? Or do I gotta step away from my sister even though I love her, but she keep putting me in some hoe ass shit that I kinda mess up my record because she on some bullshit?
And that's true. I've seen it to where it's been like I got a lot of friends that are fighters as well. They'll be like, my friend was telling me a story about how like some dudes got into it with some guy in line and they cut them in line, and she was basically saying like, well, you're a fighter, why don't you, his girl was like, well, you're a fighter, why don't you knock these guys out? Come on, man, be realistic. This ain't a fucking movie. A lot of women will still want you to kick these guys' ass, even though it's 1 of you, 5 of them. It's crazy. And she's right about that as well. Blindly following behind someone because they told you something instead of doing your own investigation That's high school shit. That's child's play. That's foolery, for real. Especially as a grown person. As a grown person, you don't crash out behind nobody unless you know the full story first. I've always said that. There is literally bodies upon bodies piling up in Chicago behind the word of what some girl said. Straight up. People don't even realize that. That's some free knowledge for y'all asses. The war in Chicago was started by a woman named Kayla B. Let's continue, guys.
Stop putting men in dangerous situations just because you for the streets. You invited a man over and you in a crazy situation and the man get there. Y'all having a good time. And then the crazy situation shows up. Your crazy ex or somebody you're already dealing with. You got a boyfriend. This man don't know. He has no idea. You putting him in a dangerous situation. Be upfront with somebody, because once that dude get there, he don't want to hear that man trying to say, well, I didn't know she had a girl. That man want to scrap. He want to squabble. His hands on sight or pistol play. That's how.
And that's another big thing too. Women put men in situations. Sometimes it's unknowingly, but a lot of the times, like, you'll be in a situation because you're the rebound guy. You're just the guy that came up behind the last guy, but that last guy ain't done yet. He ain't took his ball from his court yet. That's why I say never go to a woman's house if y'all aren't serious. Never go to her house. You don't know who might pop the fuck up. Straight up.
Let me tell you something. We have all been bitten by the snake of disappointment at one time or another in our lives. But what happens is, what I see is, men will deal with their shit or they'll get past their shit, but very few times do you see women deal with their shit. So that is the reason why they point the finger and point the finger and point the finger and look to outside sources to where they can push the blame on. Ladies, learn how to deal with your trauma and your drama and the shit that you've gone through before getting a good man, before walking him into that space.
And that's very true as well. If you and your man, your ex-man broke up or whatever, but you know that there's still a possibility of him still popping around, quit trying to move on so motherfucking fast to try to prove a point. For real. I know there's a lot of y'all will try to move on real quickly to try to prove a point. Like, oh, I got options. I got this dude on my bumper. What you don't know is that dude is following right behind you, and the next guy that you send up here entertaining could be in danger, for real, and he might not even know it. Let's go.
I saw where this lady and an ex-husband attended a church together, and her new boyfriend killed the ex-husband. Oh, wow. So it was fueling beef of the new boyfriend wanted to let the ex-husband know that he was pretty much in with dealings with his ex-wife. Said they got into it got escalated, it ended up going to the pastor's office. Now, from my understanding, the suspect is the son of the actual pastor. Wow. He tried to do a mediation in his office, but it escalated outside, which the ex-husband tried to walk away, get in his own car and drive away, and the man pretty much hawked him down and gunned him down. I'm a ruffle some feathers with this, but this is the honest God truth. A lot of women put these men in messed up situations that can cost them their life, all because of men egos. Yep. And what I mean by that is, out of all of these men that's in this world, you had no business messing or sleeping with anybody that goes to the same church as you and your ex-husband.
Fact.
How is that possible? Like, you set your ex-husband up for this. You set your new boyfriend up for this. All these men in this world, and you mean to tell me you couldn't choose somebody outside of the men?
And I've already read through the comments, and all the comments are girls, full of girls. Well, don't blame her. Don't blame this. Blame the murderer. Nah, man, that's a fact. She shouldn't have been messing with somebody at the same church that her and her ex-husband was going to. That is a fact. But women's thirst a lot of the times for not being alone and shit like that will lead them to be with dudes that they shouldn't have been with in the first motherfucking place. Now your ex-husband is now dead because of what your new boyfriend did. That's crazy, man. A church going, that's just crazy. And I'm gonna keep it a G. A lot of these women be knowing full well how their new boyfriend or how their ex-boyfriend would bug up if they saw them with their new or their ex, for real. But they just don't care. It's about them. It's about them and how they feel, and that's how it is with them, for real.
Certain women will put men in situations. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he was put in that situation because they were friends, they were drunk, fighting, and the cause of it was the women. Like, you know, a lot of times we will put guys in situations. That's why you got to know what type of women to deal with. He shouldn't have been around them drunk, acting crazy.
And I'm not sure what particular situation she's speaking about, but the overall message is clear. It's very clear. Fellas, be careful about these women that y'all dealing with out here, man, because they will put you in dangerous situations where you can lose your freedom or your life, for real. Let me know what y'all think about this, though, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go, baby.